Finally, it let me. It let me. Hi. Took me forever to be able to get on here. It kept kicking me off. I don't like it. I don't like it. Might just be me and you. Mm-mm-mm. Maybe. If not, I'll just jump off and record the class. Gonna wait a few minutes. Are you home yet? No. Well, I'm going to hang out for a few more minutes and then I'm going to get off and just record the class. Oh, you're okay. I know it's different for everybody. I, again, wish that TikTok was all right. I mean, I could try it in there, but. Hi. I was late. How are you? Yeah. I know it's a change for everybody. TikTok is not like, you just got here. TikTok did not let me record one of my last classes, so I switched over to here. I could try it again and see if it'll let me record the class. Because no one's used to coming over here. What should I do? Should I try to go over to TikTok? You're not home yet though, Rebel, right? All right, since it's just you two, should I go to TikTok? Should I stay right here? Or should I just record the class with nobody? Don't go to TikTok. No, stay here. Whatever you want. Okay. But not home. You got to get food. What do you guys think? Should I try it on TikTok? The thing I don't like about here is it took me 4 tries to be able to go live. But I know I have to be able to record the classes. can. Already here. Download. You got yours downloaded last night. See, that's what I want. Okay. Well, we'll just go ahead and start here. And then on here, it takes 12 to 24 hours to be able to download once it processes, just so you guys know. Anyway, we'll just do here. We just do here. See, I didn't use AI on the last one that I did, and it was a good class, and it wouldn't let me. So I don't know. I don't use AI on my classes or on my lives. All right, we get started. All right. All right, guys. So tonight we're talking about authenticity and self-trust. So you guys know that there's a lot kind of happening behind the scenes too on within the group and things like that. So I made some changes, and I'm trying to go directly after or directly forward, and then leave kind of the group up to you guys. I sent everybody a letter on Geneva and put the thing in Geneva on what I'm doing. I'm stepping back from the group, still in the group, still doing it. But you guys, if you there are several more people that inadvertently, as soon as I decided to kind of move away from it a little bit, that have been added to the group from the people I've been connecting with and other communities. So there are people there. If you guys take the time to go in and say hey and introduce yourself and things like that, there's many new people. Authenticity and self-trust is something, this is of course already pre-planned for like more than a month, but it's been pre-planned for more than a month, but it is perfect for what we need right now. So I'm going to just kind of dive in. So authenticity and self-trust. I want you to imagine something for a moment. Imagine how much energy it has taken over all the years to edit yourself, to explain your feelings, to soften your opinions, to second guess your instincts, and to become more palatable or more acceptable for the people around you. Now imagine what your life would feel like if you didn't have to do that anymore. If you didn't have to do it. What would that feel like? Tonight, we're not talking about becoming louder. We're talking about being bold for the sake of being seen. We're talking about coming home to yourself and trusting the version of you that exists underneath the performance is already enough. This is actually some of the stuff we're talking about at the retreat as well. Authenticity isn't about self-expression. It's about self-permission. Self-trust isn't confidence. Right? We talked about confidence. Self-trust isn't necessarily confidence. It's the quiet decision to stop abandoning yourself. Self-trust isn't confidence. It's the quiet decision to stop abandoning yourself when things feel uncomfortable. We abandon ourselves over and over again as soon as things get uncomfortable. And instead of stopping and pausing and reflecting and rerouting, we just stick to what we know, right? This is not about fixing you. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you that you needed to edit. What is the cost of not being yourself? Do you guys even know what the cost is of not being yourself? Do you know what the cost is? Most people don't struggle because they don't know who they are. Most people do not struggle because they don't know who they are. They struggle because they learned early on that being themselves came with consequences. You don't struggle because of who you are. You struggle because you learned early on by being yourself, it would come with consequences. Maybe you were told you were too sensitive, you were too much, you were too emotional, too intense, too quiet, too different. So you adapted over and over again. You learned how to read rooms, you learned how to shrink, you learned how to keep the peace. You learned how to keep the peace, all y'all. You learned how to keep the peace. And you learned how to earn approval. And it worked. It worked for you. Survival is expensive because every time you silence your truth to stay safe, your body keeps score. That exhaustion that you feel right now, that exhaustion, the resentment that you feel creeps in, the quiet grief that you really can't name, that's not burnout, that's self betrayal fatigue. Are you burnt out or do you have self betrayal fatigue? Ask yourself, where am I still performing instead of living? Do you have self betrayal fatigue? Are you really burnt out? Are you really burnt out? Or do you have self betrayal fatigue? Where are you performing instead of living? Not because you're fake, but because you learned it was safer that way. Authenticity isn't necessarily rebellion, it's recovery. How can you honor your truth? Your truth doesn't have to be loud to be real, it doesn't have to be announced from the rooftop. Your truth might sound like, you know what, this doesn't feel right anymore. I don't want what I used to want. I've outgrown this. I need something different. But here's the part that no one tells you: honoring your truth will disappoint people who have benefited from you not having a truth. I read it again. Honoring your truth will disappoint people who've benefited from you not having one. That's where most people stop and they go back and they hide. They go back to what it was before because it was too hard. They confuse discomfort with anger. Okay, when someone has discomfort, it doesn't mean they're angry. It could mean they're angry, but we confuse discomfort with angry. We also confuse discomfort with danger. Because you're uncomfortable doesn't mean you're in danger. You confuse guilt with being wrong. You feel guilty, you feel like you're wrong. It's not true. You confuse resistance with failure. The truth does not require agreement from the other people around you. Your truth doesn't require agreement. Your truth doesn't require agreement. Nobody has to agree to your truth. No one has to accept your truth. Your truth doesn't require applause. Just because you speak your truth or you live your truth finally doesn't mean that anyone owes you a round of applause. It doesn't require applause from anyone but yourself. That's nice if you get it. Your truth doesn't always require or doesn't require explanation. The truth doesn't argue, it just is. You find yourself having to argue with someone to explain your truth. If it is your truth, you don't have to argue. It's like someone coming up to you saying you have green hair and your hair is not green, it is red. There's no point in arguing, right? If they can't see it, they can't see it. The truth doesn't argue, it just is. Ask yourself this: what truth have I been carrying quietly because I didn't want to rock the boat? What does it cost you to stay silent? It's expensive. What does it cost you to stay silent? Because suppressed truth doesn't disappear. It doesn't. Are you ready? Suppressed truth, suppressed authenticity, suppressed you being you and who you're meant to be, not everyone else's you, turns into anxiety. It turns into resentment. It turns into illness and it turns into self doubt. Honoring your truth isn't selfish, it's self respect. Anybody feel that? Suppressed truth doesn't disappear, it turns into anxiety. It turns into resentment. It turns into illness. It turns into self doubt. Because you're worried someone might be mad at you for living your truth or speaking your truth or being who you are. Not talking about, Well, everybody's always been an asshole, so I'm going to be an asshole. That's just how it is. Not talking about that. What has it cost you to stay silent? Trusting your intuition. Trusting your intuition is not dramatic. It doesn't yell and it doesn't panic. It repeats itself calmly until you listen. I've been dealing with intuition lately. It sits there and taps, sits there and taps. You ignore it, sits there and taps. It repeats itself until you listen. That's something off feeling. That's not anxiety, it's information. And when you start treating all of your feelings as information, your life will change. It's not anxiety, it's information. That pull towards something you can't explain, that's not impulsive, that's alignment. That's not impulsive, that's alignment. Most people say they don't trust their intuition. The truth is, they don't trust themselves to handle the consequences of listening to it. Ew. Do you hear that? Did you guys hear that? Did you feel it? Most people say they don't trust their intuition. I don't trust myself. The truth is, they don't trust themselves to handle the consequences of listening to it. How many of you guys know something you need to do and you shut yourself down because you know there's going to be consequences when you finally make the decision? And you know what? Sometimes the consequences are all yours. Sometimes there is not consequences from other people. Sometimes it is you giving yourself consequences. Yeah. Oh, I feel it. I feel that, Elaine. Yeah, you might be wrong. But it's not your intuition that you don't trust. It's you don't trust yourself to handle the consequences of listening to what your intuition is. You can listen to the intuition, be like, yeah, okay, sure, I could do that. But can you step into to whatever you were told to do and know that you are perfectly capable of taking care of yourself and keeping yourself safe when you listen to your intuition? Because intuition often asks you to do something you really aren't wanting to do. It could ask you to walk away. It could ask you to speak up. It could ask you to choose differently. It could ask you to be okay with being misunderstood. It could ask you to be all right with being misunderstood. And that feels terrifying. Every time you ignored your gut and it was right, your body remembers. Every time you ignored your gut and it was right, your body remembers. Every time you followed it and it worked out, your nervous system remembers. Every time you pushed your stuff down and ignored it because you didn't think you could do it, your body remembers that. Every time you listened and it went well, your nervous system remembers that. Trust is built through evidence, not through affirmations, not through gratefulness journals, not through all the things we do to keep ourselves on track. Trust is built through evidence. What is you did it and it didn't go well? That I'll have to look at that. I'll have to look that one up. That's probably your nervous system as well. That's just my guess. Because your nervous system recognizes which, it recognizes. So if it didn't go well, then it recognizes the pattern of it not going well. That would be what I would bet. I'll have to look at that. Ask yourself this: where has my intuition already been right and I dismissed it? Where have I had intuition I knew I needed to do something. I knew it, right? And I dismissed it. Yeah, I definitely think it's a some form of protection with your nervous system. Yeah, recognizing patterns and past history signals it's danger, especially if it didn't something didn't go well. Yeah. Where has your intuition been right but you dismissed it? And then what would it look like to trust myself just one more step this week? Where's my intuition already been right and I dismissed it? I have those, right? We all have those. What would it look like to trust myself just one more step this week? You don't have to leap. You just have to stop overriding yourself. You override your initial intuition all the time. You have to just not override yourself. You have to go with your intuition on something. Something that's going to be really important and it is really difficult, and this could be a whole class on itself, is releasing external validation. Releasing the if I do this, someone's going to be mad at me. And it's not even always that someone is going to be mad at you, it's the fear that someone's going to be mad at you. Release external validation. External validation is seductive. I like that word. External validation is seductive. It feels like safety. It feels like belonging. It feels like certainty, right? It feels comfortable. But it comes with a quiet cost. When approval becomes the goal, authenticity is negotiable. When approval becomes the goal, authenticity becomes negotiable. You start asking, is this okay? Is this okay to do this? Or is it okay that I did that? What will they think? How will this look? Instead of, is this true for me? Is this something I want? Is this something I want to continue? Do I have the capacity to continue doing what I'm doing? The hard truth is this: if you need permission to be yourself, you'll always belong to someone else's expectations. Do you guys hear that? If you need permission to be yourself, you will always belong to other people's expectations. They will always be your ruler. That will always be the people you look to. If you need permission to be yourself, you'll always belong to someone else's expectations. Validation can be enjoyed. It's great to have. It is. But it can't be the foundation, right, Rebel? If you need permission to be yourself, you'll always belong to someone else's expectations. Validation can be enjoyed, but it cannot be the foundation, because if your worth depends on a response, your nervous system is never at rest. Are you hearing this for all of us? All of us? When your worth depends on response, your nervous system is never at rest. Is your nervous system ever at rest? Ask yourself this: where am I waiting to be chosen instead of choosing myself? Where am I waiting to be chosen? Why am I constantly waiting to be chosen instead of choosing myself? And again, it doesn't have to be loud. I choose myself. I'm not choosing you, you losers. That's not it, right? Where am I waiting to be chosen instead of choosing myself? Letting go of external validation does not mean you stop caring about other people. And it doesn't mean that the caring of what other people think completely goes away, right? You still may carry that, but it means you stop abandoning yourself to be liked and accepted. You stop abandoning yourself. You stop abandoning yourself. Taking up space does not mean you have to be loud. It means being honest. It means not apologizing for your feelings. It doesn't mean that you don't owe people an apology when you're an asshole. Okay? I'm just going to say that. If you're being an ass and you're being rude to someone, I don't care if it's your feelings talking or not, you may owe someone an apology. That's real, right? Adulting is what that is. Realizing you're using your emotions as leverage to just be an ass. That's what the world is run on right now. It means not apologizing for your feelings, not apologizing because it made you sad or that it made you angry. Like, I'm not going to apologize for my anger, but I'm also not going to take the anger or take it out on you because I'm angry. Taking up space doesn't mean being loud. It means being honest. It means not apologizing for your feelings, not shrinking your needs. You do not have to explain your boundaries. Do you know that? You can. I mean, if you care about people, right? I'm not a fan of boundaries being given with not like, did I do something wrong? Right? If you care about someone, I am full on believe that you have a conversation, right? You don't even have to say, like, this is my boundary, this is what it is. Like, you can have a conversation. There are sometimes you have to have hard boundaries and you have to have them quick, right? But it means not explaining your boundaries. And it also means not editing your truth. And it also means not getting mad at someone else because their truth isn't your truth. No one else's truth is my truth. No one else has been through the same things that I've been through. No one's been through the same things Elaine has been through. No one's been through the same things Cheek has been through. Everybody's truth is different. Stop being pissed off at people because their truth is not the same as your truth. We're humans. We all have different truths. Your presence is not a burden. Your emotions are not too much, and your existence doesn't require justification. Tonight isn't about perfection, it's about permission to trust yourself, to honor your truth, release the need to be validated, and live from alignment instead of fear. There's going to be fear when you're doing something, even that's in alignment. There's fear because, like Elaine said, if something doesn't work, your nervous system is like, oh, remember when you did that last time? It didn't work. Maybe you shouldn't do it again. You know you messed up last time. Are you sure you want to are you sure you want to do that again? Gosh, you might get hurt. You might get upset again. Let's just not do that. That's the voice inside our head, right? You're not the same person as you were before. The voice is speaking on past experiences, trying to keep you safe. Let me go back to the beginning and read a couple things just for anyone who wasn't in here, and then I'll give you guys some mantras. Imagine how much energy it's taken over the years to edit yourself, to soften your opinions, to explain your feelings, and second guess your instincts to become more acceptable and palatable for someone else. Imagine what your life would feel like if you didn't have to do that anymore. What would that feel like? What would that feel like? Imagine. Stop abandoning yourself when you feel uncomfortable. You have to stop abandoning yourself. I promise you, there's been things that I've done this week and thought about over the past couple weeks that for me to it makes me uncomfortable. My nervous system says, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this with everything that I have. But intuition says, do this. Intuition says, do this. I trust myself more than I fear being misunderstood. I trust myself more than I fear being misunderstood. My truth is valid even when it's inconvenient. Like, when is our truth ever convenient? Oh, it's convenient time. Let me tell you my truth. It's not, right? It's just not. My truth is valid even when it's inconvenient. I'm allowed to take up space as I am. I no longer am abandoning myself for approval. I'm not abandoning myself to be more palatable. I'm not going to go screaming that at people. I'm not going to go demeaning people for that. I will quietly and respectfully have that boundary. My intuition is safe and wise. I choose alignment over acceptance. I don't need permission to be real. I honor what feels true within my body. That's a tricky one because your body's going to be telling you, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. You have to start using discernment. I am done editing my existence. Don't you want to live? Don't you want to live life? Don't you want to have joy? Don't you want to be fulfilled? Being myself is not a risk, it is my freedom. Your truth does not need agreement to be valid. You were never meant to hide to belong. Think about that. The irony of that. We hide to belong. All we want is to belong, but we hide ourselves to belong to the wrong crowds of people. If you will start being authentic, your people will find you. Following your intuition, doing what needs to be done, stepping out of your box. You were never meant to hide to belong. Taking up space is an act of self-respect, self-love, self-empowerment, taking up space. Your intuition keeps whispering until you listen. What has your intuition been telling you? What is something that's been, hello, hello, still here, you still haven't done it, hello. I had some of those this week. Hello, right here, right here. You don't need permission to be real. The moment you trust yourself fully, everything shifts. I can attest to that. I had that moment this weekend, right? You guys read the note that I wrote, being totally transparent on stepping away if I have to, being willing to lose whatever. Like, every time in the past that I've stepped away from something, things have ceased, they've stopped, right? I could give you multiple things of when I stop doing it, then it's not there anymore. It just dissipates, right? So me saying, "Hey, I'm not focusing as much on the community, like that's my heart, that's where my heart is, but I have to step away and step forward to do some of these things." I don't want to lose the community, right? That I want that. In fact, that's where my heart is, but I know I need to do this, right? So just because I am who I am doesn't mean I don't work through my own things as well, right? It's always dissipated. So stepping away, being prepared, saying, universe, I'm ready, I'm doing it, right? I'm ready. It's whatever has to happen, just let it happen. And that's a scary place to be. But I trust myself because I'm following my intuition. And within moments of me making that decision, lots of things happened to prove to me that that was absolutely the right thing to do. Some of them are very small, but they're things that I've waited for a year or more to happen. And within moments, there it was. Within moments. Trust yourself and your intuition. Is it going to make everyone happy? Probably not. Is it going to make you happy? Not always initially, because you're going to be scared that you're going to make other people upset, but you have to get over that. Right? Do not spend the rest of your life being small and thinking that you need approval to do and be who you are called to be. Because I promise you, you'll get to the end of your life and you will be completely distraught because you knew you should have done that. Then you're going to have to come back and do it again. You're going to have to come back and do it again. You'd have to come back and do it again. Okay. Did this help you guys? Did this help you guys? Where in your life are you doubting? You have intuition kicking in. Where are you doubting? Why are you doubting? Think about those things. Think about those things. Think about what you need to do differently. Think about who do you have around you that you feel like you need to abandon yourself. Who around you are you constantly having to abandon yourself? No, thank you. You don't want to do it again? Me either. Guess you better get to work. Better get to work. Who do you have around you that you feel like you need approval from, you need permission from to be yourself? And again, I'm not telling you that for you to decide, you know what, Kitty said that I can do this, and that doesn't mean you get to be a shitbag. Like, it does not mean you get to be a shitbag. It means you get to process your stuff and have an adult conversation about it. Most of the time, the adult conversation starts with yourself. Right? And then it's, nope, I'm going to do this. Switch is flipped. It's no going back. Floodgates are open. No going back. No going back. Not allowed. Okay. Yes, it is. It is a lot to think about, but you're allowed to exist, right? You're allowed to live a fulfilling life. You don't have to have permission. True, even when it's the adult inside knows. Yeah, absolutely. You deserve to be happy. Your body keeps score. I'm done with my body keeping score. I decided that over the past couple weeks. It can go. Bye. Let go of things. Exist. Stop thinking you need permission to be you. Again, it's not giving you permission just to be a complete ass to people for no reason. Your presence is not a burden. Is it gonna push back? Is your presence and your truth gonna get some pushback? Yeah. Probably from yourself first, because you're gonna be like, what the hell did I just do? Probably from yourself first. Probably from yourself first. But you're allowed to fully exist. You're allowed to do the things that you want to do. And I'm not taking that was it. Like, I am willing to walk away from everything. I'm not going to have to, but if that's what needed to happen. And the moment that I full on was just like, I surrender it, I'm done, let's go. The moment, like within moments, like things changed just like this. Just like that. Just like that. The community is this sacred place. It's the collective for the people that we meet. And I'm out meeting all kinds of people. There's a lots of new people within our community. If you didn't know that, go in there. It's crazy the amount of people that are jumping in. Don't don't miss out. I mean, if you want to miss out, you can. That's fine. But don't miss out. Like things are happening. It is your birthright. All right, guys. I hope this helped you. I hope it helped you. I will get this out whenever I can get it out. You know how YouTube works. So if you have questions on anything, let me know. Um, I figure once everything settles in March, we can all get together, the leaders, and do a meeting and things like that on stuff. But if you guys missed the letter that I sent out, I am stepping back from pushing the things in the community as much. I'm leaving it for you guys to do what you feel called to do. That gives you guys some freedom within the group to post, to connect, to interact with posts, to introduce yourself to people who have not ever seen you before. Right? This is your chance to introduce yourself to people who have never met you before. You get to say who you are. I'm not going to go on and say who you are. You get to say who you are. You get to make posts. You get to show yourself to them who you are. I know who you are. There are coaches, there are recovering people, there are people who struggle with mental things as well, and they're all in the group right there. They will see you. And there's more to come. Not to scare you. So, all right, guys, love you, love you. I hope you have a beautiful night. I did find a way to connect Zoom to here. I didn't get it done yet, but I think I can do that, and that'll make it easier. Although tonight, once I got on, it seemed a little bit better. So, all right, guys, love you. Have a beautiful night. Talk soon.